This episode of Bleach, I got like past Bleach vibes. I don't know what I mean. It's like there were certain aspects of this episode where I was like, oh, this is like watching, previous seasons episodes of Bleach, which is good. It's a good episode, really nice. This is Bleach episode 11, and my love Canadian. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, don't hit anyone else, and let's just get straight into it. We begin with Etsu, the Kureo and Zanpakuto, and he's basically telling Reggie, look, even you realized that Ichigo was going to fail, because no Asayuchi was going towards him, no one was picking him, no one was saying, showing signs that Ichigo was going to pass. And he gives his explanation that I know the location of every Asayuchi that has been forged, that I have made. Because remember, he revealed that that's how Zanpakutos are formed, through Asayuchi and training them, blending of the souls. And he says that not everyone has to be a soul reaper to use an Asayuchi. And he used the example of Kenpachi, because remember, Kenpachi was a criminal. He was just going around killing people because he was bored and he's looking for a good fight. And he found an Asayuchi from a dead soul reaper, picked it up, and that's how his Zanpakuto was formed. Even members of Squad Zero went through the same thing, because they're not soul reapers as such, but they still got their hands on Asayuchi and did the whole process. And he says the only way that Ichigo is going to fix his Zanpakuto is to realize who he is and find where his soul is. And this takes us to Ichigo. Okay, last video I said that he looked like he time traveled. I was completely wrong. What happened was he wound up at the clinic where his dad worked. If you don't know who his dad is, he used to be a soul reaper, but then he went to live a normal life to look after his kids, and he runs a health clinic. And before his dad could, run into him and talk to him, Ichigo runs off. And he runs to Miss Ikumi's house. I don't remember Ikumi's house. I don't remember her. I don't remember what she did. It's been a long time, and I need to go back and look at that. But she goes over, he takes a quick shower but in the meanwhile, he's just thinking about what happened. He didn't pass the test, he's been kicked out, and he doesn't know what he's going to do. And as he gets ready, after eating some food, Miss Ikumi comes in and headbutts him. She says, look, you're like a little brother to me, you've been working for me for a while, why did you come to me sooner? How about I go to explain, where were you? You had shifts here, how were you going to explain your absences? What's going on? And she has a knock on her door. She goes to answer, no one's there. But it turns out it's Ichigo's dad, Isshin. He's in his soul reaper form, and because she doesn't have spiritual awareness, she can't see him. And so Ichigo realizes, okay, this is serious. He says, bye-bye, thank you for looking after me, and he leaves to go talk with his dad. He forgets his, soul pass. And so Miss Ikumi says, I'll drop this off in the morning. So Isshin, he's aware of the situation that's going on in the Soul Society. He says he's been informed by Irohara. He even knows that Ichigo's been kicked out because he expected this, because he couldn't fix his Zanpakuto. He says it's because you don't know anything about himself, which kind of a dick statement to say, considering you never told him. But this triggers Ichigo, who grabs him. But he calms down and he says, look, Isshin explains that we're going to wait till you are ready to tell you, and it looks like it's the right time. And he tells him that you are an LDN with the power to transform into a Titan. And wait, that's Attack on Titan. My bad. Ignore me. he tells him that you're not even a human or a Soul Reaper, and this triggers this episode-long flashback to Isshin. Isshin was captain of Squad 10, and he worked over Rangiku and Toshiro. And when we see in this flashback, he is hiding. He doesn't want to work, and Rangiku literally has to kick him out of a tree in order for him to go do his flipping job. You know, Isshin, he's a lazybat, doesn't want to do his work, so he's hiding in a tree not to do his work. Toshiro comes. Now, Toshiro, he's not a captain at this point in time. This is quite a long way ago, and he's telling Isshin, I've done some paperwork for you. It's all done. And Isshin praises him as soon to be next captain. So even back then, Isshin realizes this guy has the potential. Because remember, Toshiro is a prodigy when it comes to swordsmanship, his Zanpakuto, stuff like that. Rangiku's annoyed. She's like, wait, why is it he gets to be captain? Why can't I be captain? And Toshiro's like, look, I'm better trained. I'm barely completing my Bankai. You're barely there. Let's just leave it at that. You're just embarrassing yourself at this point. So, sorry, I have the cold right now. Just recovering from being sick. Toshiro's trying to bring to attention something that happened in Naruki. It's a city in, you know, the real world. Not real world, human world, sorry, I should say. But Isshin's just like, where's my food, bro? I left my food here. I hid it. Where is it? And Toshiro, he had enough. He said, I eaten it. Come on, let's focus. Now, the incident itself is Soul Reapers have been dying, and they've been labeled as accidents. And this happened 2 months ago, but it's happened again. And so Isshin, he leaves and he says, look, let me do it by myself, you guys. You hold down the fort. I'll be back. And Rangiku, he wants to go help. She wants to go help. But the way Toshiro explains it is, if he didn't say, let's go, he must have felt like it was too strong for us to handle. So let's just stay here, hold the fort. He will deal with it. Elsewhere, we see Jin, the disappointment Kaname, and Aizen. And they're conducting their experiments in holifications. So we know this happens around the same time Aizen starts to make his moves. So back in Naruki City, we see Isshin. Isshin arrives and he meets these two low-ranked Shinigamis, and he's like, look, I'm just here to use the toilet. You guys go home. I'll check over the scene when you're gone, okay? You dismiss. Go about your business. But really, he knows he's just getting rid of them so they don't get involved in the fight. Sorry, I had to unblock my nose. It was really irritating me there. Anyway, at the same time, we go over to Karakura Town. And this is where we see Ichigo's mom, Masaki. Now, Masaki, she's a Quincy. She is the last member of the Kurosaki family. And so she's questioned by a woman over how's training going. And she responds, it's getting there. It's so-so, which pisses off the woman straight off the bat. She's like, look, you're not taking it seriously. You're the last member of your family. We need your Quincy skills to be on point. But she is interrupted by Ryuken. If you don't know Ryuken, this is Uryu's dad. So Uryu's dad knows Ichigo's mom. We never get any hints about that. Maybe like until this season, we never had any relation between them. But this is where we see the connection. And he says, look, stop, it's fine. He apologizes for his mother's outbursts. And she says, look, she's just, she's stressed. She'll be fine. Masaki, she says, look, it's fine, don't worry about it. But when she goes into her room, she cries into this big stuffed doll. She's like, I would say like early 20s at this point, early 20s maybe. And so Ryuken, he talks to the maid. The maid's name is, did I write down the maid's name? No, I didn't. That's my mistake. I forgot to get the maid's name. But I did some research, and this is Uryu's mother. So them two were, you know, master and maid. And he says that his mother wants to protect the Quincy bloodline. That there are certain epsilon of Quincy family, and to protect it, he wants to get Ryuken married to Masaki. So at some point, Masaki and Ryuken were supposed to get married. We know that, you know, since Ichigo's alive, that never happens, but this was supposed to transpire. And at this point, he's worried that this essentially arranged marriage isn't good, and he wonders if this will make Masaki happy. Because there's no point being happy, otherwise the marriage will not work, much to the maid's approval. So you can see where the maid is being attracted to Ryuken. Am I saying that right? Yeah, Ryuken. And yeah, just to see, you know, just forging the seeds of the plot, you know, the birth of Uryu, the birth of Ichigo, stuff like that, and the connections. We go over to Naruki Stadium, right? Isshin, his plan is to draw out the person by releasing his spiritual pressure. And this spiritual pressure is massive. It is just big and loud. So it's going to work. The Shinigami, they're just below him. He's on the roof of the stadium, they're just below him. And they're like, whoa, this is massive. This is definitely the spiritual pressure of a captain. Where from nowhere, his head is like cut in half and both of them are killed. Isshin notices this, and before he can react, a figure appears behind him, and it is a black hollow. That's the name. That's the name he gives it. It's a black hollow. We go over back to Kirakura Town, and Masaki notices the spiritual pressure of both of them. And she moves to leave the building to go take care of it, but Ryuten tells her, look, we never get involved with them. We never help until one of them is dead. We just have to weigh it out and see what happens. And Masaki, she's like, oh wait, hold on. Isshin and the Black Hollow, they fight, they clash, change blows. Isshin activates his Zanpakuto, which is like a fire-based one. And the Hollow releases a Sero. And this Sero is huge. It's massive. It's like a, what's it called? The Menos Grande, I believe. It's been a while since we've seen one. And it actually takes out a squad member 13. So there's a little, low level one that wasn't killed earlier, shows up trying to help, but this little scrub gets killed. And so Ryuten and Masaki, they notice, look, this is excessive amounts of pressure. And if we don't do something now, something's going to happen. And she says that she can't wait because she doesn't think and act like they do. And so she makes to leave. Back in the fight, Isshin seducts, look, there's no way no one in the Soul Society did not notice this level of power I'm seeing right in front of me. So it's likely that there is a traitor in the Soul Society, because how did they not notice this? And then he gets slashed in the back by Aizen, who is accompanied by Gin and Kaname. But they're not seen, because if you remember, Aizen's Zanpakuto ability is perfect hypnosis. So he's probably done something to where, what's his name, Isshin cannot see the three of them. And so he's obviously there to observe the Hollow and to see what he can do. And Isshin, he realizes through the way it attacks that it's a Shinigami. The way it's firing, the way it's maneuvering, it's a Shinigami. And there's definitely a traitor. And so he continues to fight back using his Zanpakuto, using the fire. He even uses the blood on his back to make the fire bigger. So that's something to do with his Zanpakuto. I'm not really sure what it is. Masaki arrives on the scene. I don't know what it is about the name Masaki, but I'm really struggling to say it. She arrives and she fires a bow at the Hollow. And Gina Kaname's like, whoa, she's not supposed to be here. Should we do something? But I was like, no. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, you know? The Hollow moves to attack Masaki, dodging her arrows. He's quick, and Masaki realizes this. So she puts her bow away. Isshin's, saying, why are you doing that? Why would you do that? And the Hollow bites her. But she uses this to fire the bow at close range, landing a fatal shot. We're talking, wow, right in its head. And this is dead. It's dying. But before it does, it self-destructs. And before it can hit Masaki, Isshin jumps in the way to absorb the blow. He's okay. He is a bit damaged, but he's okay. And Masaki thanks him for saving her. But he just says, I'm thanking you for, saving me. I'm just returning a favor. And he asks her, well, who are you? And she's a little bit hesitant. She's thinking, do I say, do I don't? And she be's honest. She says, look, I'm a Quincy. My name is Masaki Kurosaki. That's who I am. And she's a bit worried about how he's going to react. But Isshin, he's like, yo, that's dope. I never met Quincy.